Welcome back to the part 3 of this tutorial. Previously, we had something like this, which is the camera morph going through the text. We'll continue with the animation of that. So reaching about frame 30, we'll have the text dropping on one another. Select the cloner of the text. So we can make it text. And we go to the object settings. So from the positioning, you can see what's happening. So we send it way up on frame 30 on the position Y. We go to about 70, we drop it down to 0. From here, we can increase it up so that it won't actually enter everything. It can build up on each other like this. So that's 7.5. Yours might differ from what I'm creating. Anything that you create, for you to make a change to it, you press the key to activate the lock on the animation, so which is the red. So let's play back what we have. We can adjust that a bit about entering before our shape aligns exactly on each other. Then we enter like this. Let's bring it back a bit on 80. We can make some few changes to the camera 4 just by bringing it up a bit. Go back and see the changes that we've done. So the camera 3, which is this, can come to the top like this a bit. Our animation from cam 4 fits exactly to the middle. So just play around it and see. It's not going right into the middle. As you can see, with the cam 4 selected, you can bring it like this. You can select the camera and adjust it like this so that you know what you're doing. Yes. So you can play around with your camera movements. So anytime your camera is not aligning well, you can go back to the morph camera, go to the composition, turn on the grid and the crosshair to see exactly how your camera is fitting. You select the cam 3 and you change the position of it right to the middle. You scroll through your camera and see what you're having. So this another trick to the camera morph animation based on how you can change your camera angles and the directions. So the cam 4 too can be altered like this to go right into the middle. Yes, like this. Exactly. So whilst you're in the camera morph, you can still be moving other cameras to fit exactly to how you want your scene to look. We can see the letters showing before it even goes to the camera animation. So what we can do is to select the letter, go to the clone, snap it to S, and we'll animate the count. So coming close to the camera like this, the count will be 5. Just a frame back will make the count 1. And you hit on the key. Upon reaching here, then we have the count back to 5 before it starts dropping, just like this into the text, exactly as we wanted it to look like. So we can animate the sweep as well. So the sweep we have at the edge, you can snap it by S. This is a sweep. Let's make it the top sweep. This is the growth. So we take it to the 0, the end growth to 0 around here. Go in frames close about 65 and go way up. So as the camera is going, the sweep is too fast. We can send this one back to 10. Yes, your camera going close to it, the sweep too is animating as well. We have one sweep beneath the box. We can snap that one by hitting on S and we make this one down sweep. This one will do the start. We'll do the start growth. We take it way up to be 100. From here, we lock the key. We send it back a bit around here, 60. Then we bring back the sweep to fill in and we lock the animation. Yes. There you have your smooth camera animation. So from here, we can animate the slabs that we have on the floor. Snap it to the screen. Name this one slab 1. You go to the rotation, you can see what it's doing. You can use one of these properties to animate the slab. Yes, so like this. We can have the slab like this on the first frame, go close to the last, let me say around here, and bring it way back to have some cool animation. So we can send it back so that it looks, yes, like everything is moving in the scene. We can't just have the slab on the floor doing nothing just for beauty. No, we have to add some animations to everything to create some appealing visuals. So there you have your slab moving, it goes way in. Yes. So this ones over here, this ones you can have the same animation or can have it look in a different way. So we select the slab 2, name it slab 2. Whilst this one is going this way, the other one is also coming this way. So we have it on B, the position Z, going close. That one's to come close to 0. So with the shape over here that we animated, we can bring it to right here so that it has the movement like this with the parallel movement right into the text. So with the boss moving up, you can animate your boss on the Y position. Yeah, so we have the box right here. We key on the Y. As it coming closer, then we send it up to cover up the text. Lock it like this. So as it's coming, it covers it up before you right move into it. Goes up and lock it right into it. Exactly. So we can randomize the floor as well. We select our floor, go to the effector, and there's a randomize we've added in the part 1. We go to randomize, select the effector, and add a noise effect. Let's play and see how it's having impact on animation. You can't really see the movement because we're on the top view. Let's go to the default camera and play the animation. You can either play it from here or the shortcut F8. You hit on F8 and you see the animation play out. So you see the floor moving up and down. It's going to be a subtle kind of movement in the animation, which your eyes will see, but not a dominant kind of animation that you see it moving rapidly. Just something subtle to create the feel of the animation right into the text. Exactly. So far, this is what we've created for the animation. And from here, we can bring this box to closer like this. We lock in the animation position from here. Going close, then it moves closer to the box. Let's send it back. Yes, so we play. So as those ones are also going, this one is also coming to the box before it goes inside. Let's just snap it, select it, send it back a bit, send it back a bit, and lock the animation and play. Let's do some animation tweaks on the box. We select the key, right click on the key, go to animations and go to show F curves. So this will and bring this one to the top a bit to see what's happening to your curve. So this is your curve right here, and you see that it's moving easy ease and easy out. We select other points and we make it linear. So we'll drop it down to see that our boss will not be moving slow before it will move fast. It will just move straight into the scene. We send the 1, we drop this one to negative value, we send the 1 back and bring back to 1 so that our boss will start moving even before the scene starts. Before it even gets to around here, we can bring back the keyframe so that from here we can bring the keyframe, click on it and drag it so that about we entering into the camera, then the boss also lands. So from no, it's too much around here. Yes, about we also landing and the text also gets into the shape. I think from here, just something like that. Just tweak your keyframes to get what's best for you, what looks visually appealing to you. So from here, we'll jump right into the texturing and the lighting. Just a basic lighting and texture. I will push it more in the post-production. With the texturing, I'll be using Vray, and probably you might not have Vray on your machine, but you can also follow along as I'll show you your simple method of creating your own texture. So you go to the material manager over here, you go to create, you use the classic material, and you go to the new standard material from here. As usual, you can rename based on your object you want to give it to. If it is floor, give it floor. You double click to open it up, the editor. This is the color. You can choose any color that you want. If you want a reflection, you can see the effect it's having on the object, the reflection of the object based on how you want it to look, the transparency. You can do the material editing, the texturing from here as well. When you want to get your textures and your HDR as well, you can go to your browser and type in polyheaven.com. So from there, you have access to your free HDR and textures and models that you can browse and get them for free. So from here, you have tons of HDRs that you can download for free. Likewise, the one that I have in my V-Ray, same thing, close to what I have. You can change to your studio, how you want your HDR to look, partially cloudy, everything that you might think of. You can get them for free from this particular website. So let's go right back to our scene. With the current state of the camera that we have from the cam 1 to the cam 4, so I've changed all the cam 4, 3, 2, and 1 to 55. The focal length is 55 so that my animation can be a very close-up scene before it goes through. Exactly. Yeah, so let's change some few things in the texture. With the reference that we have, it's a broad daylight scene, but for me, with this kind of tutorial, I want to go to like dark scene to create some cinematic look. We can go exactly to what we've seen in the reference. Let's create our own stuff with what we already have, which is this texture over here. I'll name it cinematic and I'll open it up. The same thing that we can do from here. So I'll change my diffuse to black. I'll change my diffuse to black and drop it down around here. And I'll go to my reflection and I'll take it around here and change this one way up to here. And I will drop down my glossiness around here, right like this. So we have our scene looking this way. I'll go to the V-Ray material and I'll name this one white. I'll open it up. With my diffuse, I'll go a bit in. The reflection, I want it to have some reddish kind of feel, so I'll push to the red in the reflection. And I'll drop down my glossiness around here. So I'll select the slabs on the floor, select them like this, right click on the white material and I apply. Right click on it and I apply. So with all my shapes, which is the text looking black, I can as well create a glass. Go to V-Ray material, name this one glass, open it up, go to my refraction and make it white. The reflection, make it white as well, and with the diffuse, I'll make it black. I have my glass. So with your text, we can vary the texture as well. So we make a duplicate of it 5 times since we have 5 of the text. So we have the 5, and I'll drop the glass in the middle one, drop it up like this. Yes, and the white, I'll drop it on this, the box. I'll go and select the box and drop it on the bowl, and the inner section, I'll drop the red on it. The top one, I'll drop the white material on it. With the red material, I'll open it up and push the reflection way up like this. With the shapes on the floor, I'll select all the lines and push them down. I'll go to my default camera, the lines, I will select the lines and I will drop it down to show just a bit. Yeah, with this setup, let's have a look. Let me add the material to the box as well. Let me delete this. With the box selected, I'll click select all the groups I'll select all the groups of the box and I'll give them the white material. Let me cross check from my render settings what we have so far. I make my output 1920 by 1080, the resolution 200. That's fine. So let's just do a test render and see what we have so far. Make sure you add the polyhaven HDR into the scene before you hit render. So I'll go to my Vray and hit the interactive render. You can as well go to your render and start your viewport render and you render your region and where you want to go with. So from here, I'll do my interactive render, and this is what we are looking at currently. This is how our render is looking so far. We can add some flares to it. We've multiplied the cube 50 times, so with that we can start multiplying our cubes to add a variation of one texture within so that it won't look so much. So I'll select all of them, shift select, and I clone. From the top, shift select all of them and I clone. So with one of them selected, I'll create my red material. I'll clone the red. With my glass, I'll push the red towards here and I'll take my refraction way up. Now make it glass red and I'll drop it right on this, so it's taking effect on some of the shapes as we are seeing. And I'll drop it on a random one as well. Drop it on this. Let me take this. You come here. It's too much. Come here. I think it's too much in the scene. You come here. It's too much. You can be playing around with it as to how it looks. Let me just clone this one a bit. Take this one down around here. Based on what we have on the red shapes, let's just have a quick shape around the red button. So with the rectangle selected, we go like this. We tilt flat on the floor. We drop it down, scale it down, go to the top view, go closer to it by snapping, and we drop it right on the red. So we snap it right on the red and we create a circle. We scale it down. We shift C. We type sweep. We add the rectangle to it. We go to the sweep and we scale down the circle just a bit. We take the sweep. Let's fit it in the middle. We go to the tools, as a center, select all this and execute. We have our anchor point in the middle and we scale it down like this. And the circle, we send it down just like this. So we go to the top view, we go to display and we do the ground shading. We put the sweep on everywhere we see the red. Close to the middle section, we clone, put it right there and right here. Let's go to the MOV camera. Let's do an interactive rendering and see how we are looking. Our white shape is being overexposed. We can select the white shape region, select the texture for the white shape itself, and we drop down the diffuse to about gray. I think this looks better. We render it out and see. Based on the scene, we can add some few tweaks to it as well. So with the sweep selected, it's just something snappy that I want to add to populate the scene. So with the sweep selected, I can clone it up and open it up in the middle, the rectangle. Open it up like this so that we have a shape in the middle right here where our test box is. And we clone the sweep again and bring the rectangle right in the middle like this. Let's do some quick render and see how it looks. Yeah, so just by adding that in the middle, you can see the changes that it has added up. I mean, the flare that it has added up to our animation. So with the outer one, I'll make it a bit thicker. I will make it thick in the middle section there. So I'll select the middle section and I'll select that particular sweep and increase the circle. I'm increasing the size of the circle so that that shape becomes a bit bigger. So I'll select the sweep right here, select the circle, and I increase the radius about 5 and see how we are looking. Let me make it around 10 and make the middle one 5. The inner one here, I'll make the radius of the circle 5. So let's have a look. Yes, so just by adding this, we can see how lively our scene is becoming. In the post-production, we can add few things to it. I'm going for a night scene based on the reference we have. I don't want to go directly to how it's looking in the reference. That's creativity. We can just copy out what the person has done. You just have to bring what you can do, your imagination, your thoughts to life. I want to add something to the animation based on the sweep that we've added, a new theme, the sweep we've added to the middle section. So I'll stop the render, select the sweep, and animate it. So from here, the growth, I'll take it down to 0. I will go into the middle, then I'll bring it back so that it will fit in exactly. So this is what we have. So I'll do this one the opposite way. This one will start from here, about getting here, also closes up. So we have all of them doing this around here, then it goes into the middle. Yeah, based on the scene that we currently have and going through all the process of rendering this, I feel like there's something advanced that we can push this scene to so that it will be more visually appealing. It's an advanced section of Vray that I don't want to go much into, but just for the sake of the look of this work, we push in to see how best we can work around with the look of the scene. So we go to the render elements and I'll drop in the beauty right here and I'll drop in the light mix and I'll drop in what crypto matte right in. There's a lot more that we can cover in this section, but I will do that in a different tutorial on its own. So with all this selected in the V-Ray element, I'll go to my V-Ray and do the quick render to see how our scene is looking. So from here we have our usual scene and we can push it more to look more visual appealing. So we want to save a history to see our thumbnails of our scene as we go along so that we can see the variations in the changes that we'll be doing. So I'll go to the options, go to the VFB settings, now go to history and enable the location. I choose where I want to add the location. I'll create a folder called the history folder and I'll select that as a path and I will do save and close. So I'll add the scene to it so that we have the thumbnail of the scene right there. So we can be going through the changes. So I'll pause my rendering. Let me delete this one real quick. Yes, so there we have it. So we have our scene right here. What I can do to push this rendering right now is to add some post-processing effects. So with the light mix, you can see that when your atmosphere, your environment is too cool, you want to push it to the warm, you can change it from here towards the red, you push it to the red. There's so much more that you can do with this, but we are not going for the environment right now. So I'll reset it back to normal and I'll add my exposure. Now push my exposure way up. It's affecting everything in the scene, of which I don't want that to happen. So I'll use one of the V-Ray elements, render elements, which is the crypto matte mask. So I'll come to add and use the crypto matte mask. So this will help me to select any part of the object that should be affected by the exposure. So I'll go to pick, now select, hand pick the parts that I want the exposure to affect so that we have something looking nice, not just a random floor having one texture throughout. Just hand pick to have a variations in your floor so that your floor can look a bit well organized and visually appealing. So from here, I think we have a nice looking handpick of the crypto matte mask, and I will do a selection of another floor from here. So from here, you can have a very vivid look at the scene as to how it's looking visually appealing. From here, we can save this to your history by clicking the plus sign. We can push some few things more by adding a color balance right from here. So with the reds, just a bit push on the red, not that much, not that much around here. And the blue, I'll go, don't crack it too much. I'll go around here, before, after. And you can do something on the hue and saturation, and we do something like this. This too much saturation. Don't push it too much, just a bit above average. Let me make this one 0.50. No, too much. Yes, so the hue and saturation, we save this one to as a history. There's so much more you can do right here. There's so much more you can do right here. But with what we've done so far, moving from here, having this scene all having the same color to here, and then adding the variations from here, and we started adding the color, the hue and saturation, the color balance. So far, this is where we've reached, and looking at it, it's looking and giving that kind of feel that you know that at least you are pushing something into your scene. The render elements I use here to bring out the textures and the lighting are a bit advanced, so I'll cover that in another video. That will be the very next video where I'll break down the Vray lighting and texturing in detail. It will be part of the playlist, but it will just cover only the lighting and the texturing that I just said. If you found this helpful, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe so more people can learn and benefit from it. Thank you. Bye.